I wanted to see if it's possible just to go through the tracks of the in effect mode, um,
Sure.
because the first track on the album, Night and Day, um, was and that was the one that Teddy said the Michael Jackson track.
Yes. Yes. So,
How did that particular song come about?
I had the track one night. Don't can't tell you why. I had that track laying, and again, I had a whole bunch of other tracks, and Al locked into that one day. I wasn't even here. I don't. We didn't do it together, but he heard that track and he had it, and he came up with the hook. From what I remember, he had the hook first, before the verses, before anything. And I don't know when he made it. I don't know when he recorded the demo. But by the time we met Teddy, maybe two months later, Teddy already heard it. And I'm like, I never heard it, put the vocals on it. So it was that's how it came about. And then everyone felt really special about this record. Our first two demos that we had were Off on Your Own and Night and Day. So
Mm.
everyone heard Off on Your Own, and because it was more fast and dancey. But I was surprised that people were even able to understand what Night and Day was going to be before we did it. But a lot of people said that's the record, that's the style, that's the B.Sure sound, and they were right. They were right.
So, just for those of us who aren't music producers and stuff, when you said you had the track, what did you mean by that? Did you already have the soul Night and Day song, but just no lyrics, or what was it that? Oh,
That's correct. Yes, I had the music for it with no lyrics, and it was a demo, so it did not sound like the record.
yeah, but
You know,
the whole dun, 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 the whole
yeah,
everything.
I had all that was already there. And the equipment was bad and the recording was bad, but the idea was there already. And he
Uh,
locked right in on it, among other tracks. And he was like, hey. So when the next time I heard the record, Teddy already heard it when we went to his house to work. He's like, no, that's the song that you guys got to do. So even he knew there was something special about that
mm,
record.
okay.
But when we met with Andre Harrell, God rest his soul, he knew that record was going to be the vibe, the aura
Mm,
of B.Sure more than any other record. That's the direction. That's your identity. That record, because it had the smoothness, but
mm.
still R&B, but the new vibe. So Andre immediately was able to put that together with the B.Sure identity.
Wow. And then he wrote the song and the lyrics, and he changed the night to NITE.
Yes, yeah. Once when we now this was the good thing. When we demoed at my parents' house, we did all our demos at my parents' house. But when we went into the studio, that's a pressure. I think a lot of producers would tell you that once you get into the studio, it's another level of pressure. And Al was great at being able to create in the studio. I was never that comfortable also. I love to be in my demo studio, but when you feel, you see all the gadgets in the studio, that's another level of pressure.
Okay.
But Al was great at it. He knew he could pull from people in the studio. He would call other writers and vocalists on the phone and go, "Hey, I need an idea here." So he was really good in the studio. That's something that a lot of artists and producers are not good at, but he was great at.
Yeah, and I do wonder because you look at images of a studio and you see this massive board with all these buttons, and I used to say, how do you go? When I asked Dalvin, Mr. Dalvin from Jodeci, I said, how is it like going into the studio and do Cena? And he says, well, because their dad was used to record so many albums, so they were used to that. And I thought, but others, when they do go in, it's like that's a whole different thing, hearing your voice back and stuff, and it can be very intimidating. But you said for you, it was more intimidating than it was for your cousin, for Al.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. He was great at it. I mean, even when Al could tell you that when I had to do music sessions in the studio, and Al had a big entourage. So he always had a lot. I'm like, yo, they got to leave because I need to concentrate. I need to make that space smaller. That's the way I was able to create. So I would ask him nicely, yo, and he would look at them and go, and just like y'all got to go, you know. So he always made sure I was comfortable in the studio. Yes.
Okay. The second song was "Ooh, This Love Is So." How did that track come about?
That may be one of my favorite records ever, like to
Wow.
make. We were actually mixing night and day. And the mix is a long process.
Oh,
So Al and the engineer, they're doing their thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm just kind of listening, but there was always a piano in the studio. So my downtime, I would go into the booth and play the piano. And one time Al took his little break and came in and he heard what I was playing. He said, that is incredible. That's beautiful. Because we need to demo that. So like the next day I went and demoed it, at the house. And he said, I'm feeling that. Then we gave it some, nice sound to it. I think we recorded it at Eddie's house again. And I left early. I did the music and I left. And late, it had to be like 4 o'clock in the morning. Him and Eddie come knocking on my door. Like, listen to this. And he created this incredible vocal, just incredible. His vibe, his lyrics, his melody, he nailed it. And then we brought in other background singers. He envisioned the whole song,
wow,
and that to me is still my favorite record to make because
wow.
the steam just kept picking up on that record, and we got it done really quick. And just the mood of that record was just laid out perfectly on that record.
So when you were just playing it, was it that you heard the sound in your head and you were just playing what you were hearing?
Yeah, I just because I can literally sit down at the piano and write a song. You know, I know where I want to go chord wise, and if I lock in on something I really like, I'll go, okay, that's it. Now build on that. But this one day I was in the studio, so there was nowhere to record. I just kept playing it over and over. And Al walked in and said, oh, "Whoa, I love that." I said, "Okay, I can't forget that. Let me get home and lay it down and demo." And it just kept going from there. Then after he recorded the demo at Eddie F's house, we were in the studio the next day, and we're like,
Wow.
"Let's record this record." And then he brought in other people to help with your backgrounds, and the whole movie. I call it a movie. Just came together. It was just a perfect record.
Wow. Okay. It's a pity it didn't come out as a single.
I know. Yes.
Now the "Killing Me Softly" remake. Whose idea was it to do that and add it to the?
Wow. Andre Harrell. It was
Oh,
Andre Harrell's idea to try it. I remember he wanted us to try um a record called Natural High that came out
oh
in
yeah, yeah.
19.
I know After Seven did it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he wanted us to try that first, and then he brought up the idea. Let's try, Killing Me Softly. And I remember going to Roberta Flack's house to ask for permission. It was
What?
me, it was myself, Andre, and Al. And she wanted to make sure this wasn't like a clearance. It was like, you got to come to my house and meet me first
But she
to
didn't
get
write it.
permission. But you know what? But she was the one that obviously made it famous. And yeah, we had to like get permission,
I
to
okay.
bless.
Oh, the
Because
blessing.
Al was brand new. It was like, who's this guy?
Okay.
And Andre, he talked his talk and made everybody feel comfortable. Then when we demoed it, and it was not easy to demo for some reason. And then that record, Al did the drums, and he had the drums going all over the place. And I'm like, what the heck is this? And when we got it in the studio, and that the drums, the crazy drums, that represents 1988. That track, those drums represented what was going on better than anything else. And then I just pretty much played the song over the top and, added some little instruments here. And then again, he nailed it with his performance, and again, the record came together real quick again.
So there was no hesitation for you guys to do a cover. Did they just wanted to just to say, let's just do our own stuff? Or was it stuff that you just felt Andre said that you need at least to have a recognizable song on the album?
Yes, he did. Andre wanted us to, he would always ask us, what would be your idea to do one?
You still there? Yeah, okay.
Okay, there we go. So what I was saying was that Andre taught us that remakes should be reinventing a song to another market.
Okay.
So he felt that if this is an R&B young boy, Killing Me Softly, which was a pop record, reinvent that, repackage it for another market, for a young R&B market. So that's what felt that, oh, that's a great idea. Then that would be the perfect record.
Okay.
And make it yourself. And that's what we did.
Okay. Yeah, no, it was different. And I don't think I'd heard the original until after that. So, and I guess that's the thing that you normally get is the newer generation not being familiar with the original. It's like I didn't when Shante Savage did "I Will Survive." I had no idea it was the same Gloria Gaynor one because it was so different that I had no idea it was the same song.
Right.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of the Halftime Chat community. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. But most importantly, why don't you consider being a member? That's a way of supporting the channel, but also getting a lot of videos ahead of time, a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and some exclusive content that doesn't get shared. But anyway, thanks for watching and thanks for being part of Halftime Chat. Sweet.